Right, this one's not a gig log. I've had some people saying, like, asking about my lights. What I've decided to do was, when I do gigs, I'll bring one light in at a time during a week or something, and just do a little review on one of my lights at a time rather than bring them all in at once. First one I'm starting with is the one that Mikey Mike asked about on, I think it was gig log 13, the football presentation one. So I'll do that one first, and I'll post it up to you so you can see what it is. What it is, it's an old geni XTC. It's one of the oldest lights I've got. I got it in '97, so well, I'm quite old, but I'd use it all the time because it just still works really, really well. I mean, it's just a generation 1 of the light, because I mean the generation 2, all that they still produce them, but all they've done is like change the case a bit. What would it? It's basically it's a 250 watt moonflower. But they did two versions. They did the Wild Blaze, which was basically a moonflower with a panning mirror. But the XTC had a pyramid head instead of a panning mirror with mirrors backing it. So we'll have a look. There's the unit itself. As you can see, basically moonflower there. And this is what I mean, it's backed with mirrors, and you've got a pyramid shaped head. You've got two mirrors there at that height, and then you've got two slightly set slightly lower. I don't know if you can see that there, they're set slightly lower. I mean, yeah, I mean with this one I've got one that's cracked, but it's been like that for a long time and it doesn't affect it. The only problem with this light I've found, it's down this side now. Oh, typical. Got the screwdriver stuck, as typical. There you go. Is that the bulb, to change the bulb, there's two screws here, but they're Allen screws. So you either need an Allen screwdriver or Allen keys. I mean, the bulb it uses is a 250 watt 24 volt capsule lamp, which as you can see there, pretty simple. Basically you got the mirrored, I don't know if you can see it there, there's a mirrored dish with different coloured bits of glass on it that reflects out. That there is your sensitivity, like on some of the newer lights, basically just adjust how sensitive it is to react in with the sound to light, because that's the operation of this. Basically it doesn't flash. What it does is it's on, and the sound to light, whether it reacts to the little dish you saw inside there, how that turns to the music, thus creating the beams to turn, and that turns with the music as well. And what that does is that takes you from what you get with a normal one moonflower, which is one like set of dots. This multiplies it up to about 8 that scan left and right across the room. I mean, cooling wise, it's got a fan, and there's your power in, and there's your microphone. It's got quite a big bracket on it. Yeah, good, isn't it? You see, no editing at all. There's the bracket for hanging. What I'll do, I'll fire it up. I've got a lead here. You can have a look. Here we go, 2 seconds. Right there, I basically stood it on the older, absolutely knackered workbench, but that's basically what it does. But as you can see, just from tapping the unit, it spins, and from looking in there, what happens is that mirror moves. And what you can see that does, it basically moves them all around. So it's like having between 4 and 8 moonflowers actually on the floor at the same time. And sort of all over. I mean, I'm even getting them there. I mean, if you look in relationship to where the light is, there, you've got it over there, down there, all over the place. So, I mean, as with the bracket for hanging it, these are what I use. These G-clamps. The reason being, with a lot of the lights, you have to, if you just use the bolt which is here, you're forever hooking it up and trying to do a bolt up. If I do it this way, I'll show you. Yeah, I mean I've left it on, it's still sort of trying to light up the floor. It looks over even on my feet, just moves over there. As you can see, this is how the it clamps on with a wing nut there, so that's firm there. And all you do is when you want to mount your light, you pick it up, that there comes to there, so you can see that there. Hooks over your T-bar or your truss, and you tighten the thumb screw, which basically puts that inwards. When you tighten that up, that goes in and pins your bar in there. So there's no way it's coming down, but the point is, with a heavy light, I mean, I don't know what the weight of this one, but it's not particularly heavy. Does it say on the plate? No, it doesn't say on the plate, but I mean, some lights can be as little as 2 kilos, some can be up to about 30. Well, 30, but that'd be a bit big, but you know, a good 5, 6, 7 kilos. When you're trying to mount them on the beam, you just sort of pick this up. All you got to do is just 2 hands, go up to the bar, hook it on. Even without it being done up, we'll hold it because it can't fall off, and you just tighten it up. And at the end of the night, just undo, lift down. With this one going in its case, which is something I'll show you now. Even with its case, what we got, an old Zag plastic toolbox. It's a 26-inch toolbox, just to stop it from knocks and scrapes. But the light drops, as you can see, drops straight in. I just twist the bracket there and lay it down, so I don't even have to keep taking that off, and that don't rattle around or anything. Fitted and done. Well, there you go, that was that one. So that's probably one of my oldest lights, but I still use it a lot. I mean, most gigs, because it puts out quite a lot of light and it spreads it around. It doesn't just sort of sit there and do nothing. I think when I bought that, so it was 97, it was a good, about 120 quid. There's still, you can get them now for about 80 quid. All they've done is redesign the casing a little, make it a bit smaller. But I mean, yeah, they're still a pretty good light. As for bulb life, I think I've only ever put about 3 or 4 bulbs in it, so they do last a long time. I mean, I've got a spare one. I can't even remember the last time I changed it, really. So I think the bulbs only cost about 3 quid anyway, so it's not even too much of a problem if they do sort of not last particularly long. But yeah, it's from how that one works, is yeah, good little light. It's lasted me a long time, and I think I'm still going to keep it going because. But I say, yeah, I've got a gig tomorrow. I've got a little, which will be Saturday. I've got a little kids party in the afternoon. That's a school leavers. That's only sort of, I think they're about 10-year-olds. But Sunday I've got, I think it's either an 18th or a 21st, so I shall gig log that one. So that'll come up probably around Monday. But there you go. I've posted this one to you, Mike, because that's the light you said about on my last video. But anyone else? And the other thing is, I've had a look. I don't think there is actually any demonstration videos of this light on YouTube at this point, but I might be wrong. If not, there's not many at all. I mean, it's like the newer lights I've got, like the Dynamos, there's loads of them, and the Imposi LEDs, same as the Revo 3, there's loads of videos about them on there. But I find a lot of the older lights and stuff, you just can't find anything on there. I think the next light I do, I'm just going to do for life, it's the other light that's as old as this one. I've got 97, it's the only 2 oldest light, and basically that's a 100 watt moonflower, and I'll show you about it when it goes on. But it's, I say, it's still working. I only use that really occasionally as sort of a backup light. You know, if you get like people say, oh, can you just chuck one here, and it's going to be sort of out of the area unsupervised, and you'll be a bit careful about it. Or if, for argument's sake, if you ever had one of your lights for some reason will fail and you're not running particularly big light show, or you set your lights up and you've got a dark corner somewhere, so you can just sort of throw this one up on the bar with a clamp and just sort of point it in that direction. But show you that one next time. I'll say, yeah, that's still in working order, still going as well. But this one, I say, most of my lights, I say, are nowhere near this. I think apart from that, the oldest light I've got must be about 2 years old. That's about it, really. And mind you, it still keeps passing its pat testing, so why not? But yeah, I say I'll leave you with that one, and next one will be a gig log.